Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers Showcase video. In today's video, we're looking at another mining ship, and this one is called the OPC Stoneclaw, which is this lovely thing over here. So this is a small block ship that features only ion thrusters and 4 drills at the front for you to go out and collect any kind of precious resources, get back to your base, take it back to a trade station, and do whatever. Pressing F10 and finding it in the spawn menu, the OPC Stoneclaw is 450 small blocks, using the Sparks of the Future Decorative Block number 1 and Decorative Block number 2 DLC packs. You can also see all the way at the top here it uses no mods, no subgrids, you can use scripts on here if you wanted to, and it's survival ready. We've got all the information about it right here on the Steam Workshop page, so we just give this thing a thumbs up, move all the way around to the very front, we'll have a quick look around the outside, then we'll test it out against that asteroid in the distance. So at the very front here, this is what we get. Front and center, we've got ourselves our industrial cockpit with a spotlight and ore detector on the left and right hand side. On the top and the bottom of that, we've got some ion thrusters to help us stop, and we can see surrounding that some lovely dusty armored steel blocks. If we were to pull away and start to move all the way over to here, we'll see our drills, which have got some great clearance away from our cockpit to make sure we're not going to damage anything if we are going to bore straight through an asteroid. If we were to start to move around the side, we can see a rotating light on the top there. And all the way around onto here, we can see some black conveyors linking up our drills that will go all the way across to our large cargo containers in the middle. There we see it going all the way across to the main body. We've got some nice use of our blast or edge blocks, a connector and camera on top, some more ion thrusters to help us on our left and right. Come around over here, we've got another little thruster pod type thing made out of some ion thrusters. We've got a blast or edge block and the front, some ion thrusters on the top and the bottom, and a large one around towards the back. So here we go right there, we've got ourselves a green blinking light on this side, a red blinking light on that side, and a battery right at the very back. If you were to drop all the way down and come underneath, there's our ejector to get rid of any kind of unwanted resources like stone. There's our cargo containers at the bottom there. We see the bottoms of our thruster pods. Towards the very front there, there's some more orange blocks, our side thrusters. And there is our industrial cockpit at the very front. If we were to move all the way up and above and start to look down, there is our drills at the front. We can see the conveyors exposed along the top. There's our rotating light. There's our connector and camera setup to help dock this thing up. And then moving towards the back there's our cargo containers with a strip of steel blocks going along the middle. And there is the very back. And there we go. It's a very short, very sweet looking ship, and very self-explanatory with what's going on with it. But what we can do now is just come all the way around over to here, grab hold of my character. We can now bring up the HUD on tab number 1. We can go through what this thing can do. So number 1 is going to be for our drills, just to simply activate them, and then left mouse, right mouse, depending on what you want to do. Number 2 is for our batteries to auto or recharge. Number 3 is for our ion thrusters all the way around the ship to turn it on and off. Number 4 is for our hydrogen tanks to stockpile on and off. And that is going to be for our hydrogen engines. We come into here and find our hydrogen. There we go. We've got one lone engine powering this thing, so that's why we got that hydrogen tank. Coming around towards the front, pressing number 5, that's going to be for our spotlight right next to our cockpit. And number 6 is for our rotating light on top. There we go. Number 7 for our antenna. Number 8 and number 9 is for our connector on top. Then coming over to tab number 2, we then got our camera, which is right next to our connector. Then we've got controls for our ejector and sorter at the back there to turn them on and off if you need to do that. And that is all we get with the controls for the OPC Stoneclaw. So if we were to look in first person view, this is what we get along the top there, so we can see our total storage used. We see our engines, connector and antenna if they're turned on and off. We see our hydrogen and power usage. And of course we've got our drills, whether they're turned on or off right there. Yes, now we can just come across this asteroid, do a bit of drilling to see what this thing can do. We'll just move all the way along like so. We are quite a slow and steady vehicle, so you will need to plan ahead if you are going to charge along towards an asteroid. I should have enough stopping speed, although I'm starting to doubt that. So we're just going to go like that and just bounce into our drill. But now that we're here, we can now left mouse and start collecting up some stone. There we go, we now see on the top left hand side, our cargo containers are now starting to fill up. We can see right below there what we've collected, so we've only collected stone. And we're just going to keep charging along like so until we're at 100%. And there we go, we're now at 99%. It will not tick up to that 100, but we are completely full of stone. And this is the speed we get. We are very, very slow, but it's to be expected from such a small mining ship. And yes, turning all the way around like so, it's quite hard to turn the mouse. Just get away from this asteroid. We'll come into here, we'll now check how much we've actually got. So all the way over here, we'll hide the empty. So we've got a bit of stone in the cockpit. Got 42,000 in our large container number 1. Got 9,000 in each drill. And another 42,000 in the secondary cargo container. So we can carry quite a lot for such a small little ship, but due to the speed it travels, it may be a good idea to have a larger ship nearby to unload everything and maybe jump it over to where it needs to go. Because as it stands while full up, this is the speed we're getting while moving forwards. We are extremely slow, and coming to a stop, we are just as slow, so you could have many accidents if you are charging along at maximum speed. If you were to start to move left and right, it's what you'd expect. Not much is going to be happening while we're full up. And of course, wiggling the mouse around, this is what we get. We are extremely heavy. The weight of this is generally what I expect from a large battleship. But then again, we are full up with quite a lot of stuff. And yes, we can always come over to tab number 2. We now come over here and press the ejector. And we should start to remove all our stone. And there we go. It's now removing out all the little stone. And we should get slightly faster with each little ball dropped. And yes, we now just fly away over to here. As for that is pretty much it for what the OPC Stoneclaw has to offer. It's a very nice, very sleek designed mining ship if you are looking for something fancy to fly around and do some mining. Yes, it is quite slow once full up, and you could have a lot of problems coming to a stop. As you can see there, I am not holding down any kind of buttons on the keyboard, and that is the speed we're getting while slowing down, even while ejecting out stone very, very slowly. So yes, you do have to watch out when moving at speeds, but at the end of the day, if you crash, you'll look good doing it. So there'll be a link to it in the description below if you do wish to download and play around for yourself. Highly recommend you do. And I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.